In the year 1974, the very first Internet Service Provider, or ISP, was born with the introduction of a commercial version of ARPANET, known as Telnet. ARPANET stands as a major changing point in the development of computer technology. Many underlying Internet technologies were first developed on or for ARPANET. What is Telnet? Telnet stands for Terminal Network. It is a type of protocol that enables one computer to connect to a local computer. So in Telnet, it is commonly used by terminal emulation programs that allows you to log into a remote host. It can also be used for terminal-to-terminal communication and inter-process communication.
Altera Microcomputer Kit was released first personal computer for the public 1975. The Altera 8800 is a microcomputer designed in 1974 by MITS and based on the Intel 8080 CPU. Interest grew quickly after it was featured on the cover of the January 1975 issue of Popular Electronics and was sold by mail order through advertisement there in Radio Electronics. A.D. Roberts created the Altera 8800, the first computer that normal people can afford and use them in their homes without it taking up an entire room. Microcomputer was the first practical build-it-yourself computer kit available to hobbyists. Microcomputer Kit was created by MITS, which stands for Micro Instrumentation and Telemetry System.
Tandy Corporation acquired Radio Shack in Boston, which was founded in 1921 to serve the ham radio market. In 1977, the company introduced one of the first personal computers, which was the TRS-80 Model 1 for $599. This offering included a basic language interpreter, 4 kilobytes of RAM, a Zilog 780 processor at 1.77 MHz, a 12-inch video monitor, a cassette recorder, a power supply, and a cassette tape containing the games Blackjack and Backgammon. And more than 200,000 were sold in 4 years. So the Tandy's Model 100 and 200 lightweight portables were also the inspiration for the laptop generation.
Apple Macintosh computer. The first Macintosh was introduced on January 24, 1984 by the former Apple CEO Steve Jobs. The Macintosh, often called the Mac, was the first widely sold personal computer with a graphical interface and a mouse. Macintosh are not that very expensive that many people can afford it. And more importantly, it was an easy computer that almost everyone could operate without going to school to become an expert. The first Mac was the first fully mainstream computer with a graphical user interface and therefore the first one with icons. They were famously designed by Susan Kare, who later did icons for Microsoft, Facebook, and other clients. Today, icons are everywhere, on computers, phones, tablets, and the web.
In the 1980s, AI was reignited by two sources, an expansion of algorithmic tool and a boost of funds. John Hopfield and David Rumelhart popularized deep learning techniques which allowed computers to learn using experience. On the other hand, Edward Feinbaum introduced expert system which mimic the decision-making process of a human expert. The program would ask an expert in a field how to respond in a given situation. And once this was learned for virtually every situation, non-experts could receive advice from that program. Expert systems were widely used in industries. The Japanese government heavily funded expert system and other AI-related endeavors as part of their 5th generation computer project, or also known as FGCP.
Bill Atkinson, an American computer engineer, began designing a program called Wildcard in 1985 after intaking LSD, which is a psychedelic drug. HyperCard was introduced for the Mac in August of 1987. Atkinson created the application independently and provided it to Apple on the condition that it will be made available for free on all Macs. The application is credited with placing the power of computer programming and database design into the hands of non-programmers, and it was one of the first electronic publishing vehicles. Some of the first electronic books were created using HyperCard interactive databases.
In 1981, 450 complete works of literature on one CD-ROM was released. January 1987, CD-ROM was invented by James Russell Howard from the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory at United States Department of Energy. CD-ROM stands for the Compact Disc Read-Only Memory. A CD-ROM is a CD that can be read by a computer with an optical drive. The ROM part of the term means the data on the disk is read-only or cannot be altered or erased. Because of this feature and their large capacity, CD-ROMs are a great media format for retail software. The first CD-ROMs could hold about 600 MB of data, but now they can hold up to 700 MB. CD-ROMs are shared the same technology as audio CDs, but they are formatted differently, allowing them to store many types of data.
On January 1997, a European team has won an RSA-sponsored contest to prove how easy it is to crack weak encryption schemes. As part of a contest to prove the frailty of low-level encryption, a European team cracked a 48-bit encryption code in less than 2 weeks. The code breaking was part of a contest sponsored by RSA Data Security, which holds the dominant share of the encryption toolkit market. Part mathematical challenge and marketing campaign, the competition urges contestants to crack various strengths of RSA's algorithms. The 48 bits took 13 days to crack by a team of researchers using 3,500 computers. The 48-bit code was roughly 256 times more difficult to break than the 40-bit code. Strong encryption is considered crucial to protect electronic privacy in the digital age.